Welcome back to the Couple Project. In the last episode, we cleaned up the Trans Am. Now we're going to take a look at it and see what we need to do before we move on to the next step. These hatch struts did actually hold the hatch up before we power washed it. They're going to have to get replaced anyway. Whoever had it before us that decided to paint it, obviously it was red at one point. They decided to paint it black. They didn't go through the traditional methods of painting. It looks as though they grabbed a spray paint can and did it with spray paint. What's crazy is how easily it shined right up. Most of this door is body filler all the way down. It's pretty good. It's got a hole, but we can fix that. This side is less happy, but it's not full of Bondo. This door's in pretty good shape. We'll probably end up keeping this. Little fix down there. The original red shining through. As for the inside, it may not look much better, but it definitely smells better. A lot of dirt and grime. Of course, the holes in the floor. What I'd like to do today is to start working on the firewall. Our plans are to smooth it out as much as possible. We need provisions for our brakes, steering column, wiring, different things, but we haven't decided what we're going to do with this front half of the car yet. What kind of suspension it's going to have. We know that we're going to put in a cage on the inside, and my thoughts are we're definitely going to run that all the way out to the front as well. So as we work through all the details of what kind of suspension we're going to use, what drivetrain we're going to use, we know what we want it to do. We have to figure out how to make it do it. So as we work through all that, we're going to end up deciding what happens with the suspension, the cross member, and even the whole front half. We might end up taking the whole thing off. At this point, I'm going to clean up the firewall. We're going to put it on time lapse, and we're going to make it faster than the last video because I got a few complaints that we didn't time lapse it fast enough. So we're going to try again, this time sanding. Okay, so really all I did was scuff it, cleaned it up quite a bit, give it a good wipe down. This is not the final product. The more I think about it, the more I think we're probably going to end up just doing a flat panel completely over that, either on top of it or just cut it out and replace it. But for now, we're going to paint it black. It'll just look better. There she is. It's your firewall. Time to eat. Well, we've given it a little bit to dry. Give you a look to see how this firewall turned out. It is just primer, it's not paint, so it is what it is right now. While I was waiting for the paint to dry, I made her a nice little logo for her door. I think she'd get a kick out of it. So obviously it wouldn't be the couple project without the couple. However, Sarah's busy with other things today, so kind of left me on my own to play around. So that's why we started working on the car a little bit. But we also have some other upkeep and maintenance we need to do. In the last video, we talked about the headlights on our minivan. So I think what I'm going to do is I have to change out the windshield wipers. I think we'll go ahead and pull that in and see about fixing up those headlights. I love having the car in rollers. Okay, we got our Honda minivan inside. Fill up the old washer fluid, change out the wiper blades, and then we'll start working on these headlights. So I'd like to talk to all the engineers out there. See that little bit? That needs to be able to go in there. That little bit. Obviously, we have no sponsorship or personal endorsements here, but we went with the Rain-X Latitude water repellency wipers. We've got a 26 and a 22 inch. This vehicle takes a bigger one for one side and a smaller one for the other side. All right, these new Rain-X, they have a little locking tab. You open up, and for my style of wiper arm, it'll actually hook in and then this locks it in. And remember to remove the yellow before use. Down. So again, the little locking tab to pry that open. And then we take this yellow part off before we use it. All right. Now they're in. Washer fluid's full. Those are ready to go. Fall is upon us and winter's coming, and we want to make sure our wipers work well and work safely. And I believe these Rain-X units are going to do a great job. So now we're going to move on to headlights. So we've been dealing with these foggy headlights for a while. You can try all kinds of tricks. So some people even try car wax. So I'll give you a little example of how that works. Take your car wax on your cloth. I don't know if you can see that. As we're rubbing, it's actually making it clear and not foggy. Provides a little bit of a shine to the otherwise dull headlight. So you could do that. However, you're going to be doing that every time it rains, every time you wash your car, because the wax is going to strip right off. So again, not sponsored or endorsed. We have the Turtle Wax Headlight Lens Restorer. I've tried something like this in the past on a different vehicle. Seemed to work pretty well. So we're gonna try this out and see what it does for our van. So the first thing we need to do is wash and dry these lights. This vehicle was just washed yesterday. However, we've already picked up some new bugs. So we'll clean them up, get them dry, and then we'll start the process. This kit, it utilizes a special compound as well as a small sanding pad. And what takes the haze out and smooths out your headlight is that sanding. So when it's all done, it has a ceramic acrylic coating that will go over top and basically protect the headlight. Again, I don't know how long it's going to last, but it's got to look better than it does now. So let's get started. It says to use their headlight lens repair and renew first. And if the headlights still look dull, then they want you to do the sanding step. It's basically a polish for the plastic. We know it's going to clear up because we did it with the wax. We know it's going to look better, but we want them to look new. So knowing that we're going to need to use our sanding step, This is a number 1 and a number 2. And basically what that is this is a more coarse sandpaper. This is a more fine. So this is gonna take out the imperfections in the headlight. This one's gonna smooth that out and give you a polished finish, which then you need to come back and put the coating on. For now, what we need is some water and this sanding disc. Let's get started. So I need to point out that this is going to work really well for smoothing out the surface and eventually giving us back that clarity that we need for our headlights. It doesn't fix everything. There's going to be cracks and pits from bugs or rock chips. There's even small cracks in the headlight that are on the inside. This is not going to fix that, but it will make it clearer and in the end, make it safer for us to drive. So that was the number 1 side. Let's flip it over and do the number 2. So I want to point out, for some people, this is enough for them. This may be all they need to bring clarity back to their headlight. Over time, these headlights get exposed to all kinds of things: dirt, rock, rain, bugs, and of course the sun. And it starts to oxidize the outside layer of this plastic. This alone will make them brighter for a while, but they won't stay as bright. If the damage is bad enough, that's the point of the sandpaper. The sandpaper actually takes off that damaged layer, and then with the second side, it'll smooth out your sanding scratches that you put into the headlight. I gotta tell you, it's a little hazy from the sanding, but it already looks better than it did when it rolled in here. So now we're going to jump over to the second side, get it knocked out, and then we will come back and add the ceramic acrylic coating. Here we go. Now that we've sanded them down, go back over it with a clean, dry cloth and make sure they're dry. Take that extra time to go in and around all these cracks and crevices. We don't want to introduce any water into this final coating. I'm not too worried about my paint. And at this point, we just want the headlights to be safe. So we're going to follow these instructions and get this applied. Okay, according to the instructions on this, finish both headlights before you open this. One wipe will do both headlights. It comes with two, and there's specific instructions. If you want to work on your headlights even further, you can do a double coating, but it takes a couple of days to get all that done. But for right now, we're going to see what this does. They include a plastic glove. Let's tear this open and get it going. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes for this to cure on here, and up to 24 hours before it fully cures. However, it says that you can drive your vehicle immediately after the application. So we're gonna swipe it on. And it's already drying. Let's move on to the second one. Make sure to get all the spots. We're gonna let that set up and see how it looks in about 5 minutes. Okay, we waited the correct amount of time. Looks like it's all sealed up. After 24 hours, you can polish the lens again by hand and then add that second coat on top, and that'll give you a little bit more clarity, polish out some of the other lines and stuff that are in it. But I gotta tell you, from what it looked like when we started this to now, it's that's 100 times better, and I'm sure it's gonna be a lot safer out on the road for us. So give it a try. You can pick it up at any auto parts store. They also have other brands besides this one. This one's Turtle Wax. You can try other brands. I'm telling you, they all do the same thing. The goal is to polish that surface of the lens. If you can't do it with a polish and a buffer, then you need to get in there with that sandpaper disc and smooth it out and then polish it. And then you do have to coat that plastic, or otherwise it's just gonna be dull looking. So we got both of them done. They're gonna be safer out on the road now. We've got working headlights that you can see. We have new windshield wiper blades put on for winter. And we're all full of the washer fluid. So that's all I have for today. Thanks for watching. Okay, there's the other half. Just to come see what we did on the van.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, what do you think?
Ooh, those look better.
Think you can see out of that?
Yeah. It was hard driving home last night.
So we got the headlights all shined up. Put brand new wiper blades on. We topped off her washer fluid. So she should be ready to go this fall and winter. It's getting darker out. Headlights will be able to see better. So I hope you like it.
Yeah.
Now it's time to relax.